Hello everyone, welcome back to the Addictive Bookworm, where my addictions all over the internet. On this channel, I do library book hauls, book reviews, both digital and physical, audiobooks, and so much more. So I know I told you guys in the previous video this was going to be the last video that I was going to do, but I actually finished Dungeon Crawling Carl because I just couldn't put the book down. I went from like 31 all the way to 35, and then I was like, heck with it. I'm really getting into this book. I'm going to go ahead and finish it tonight. So it's officially done. I am very happy about that. So I'm going to do the full review. I'm going to do a review of it. It probably won't be as extensive as I want it to be, because I'm going to do something that someone else has done, but I'm not going to have it like with two other people with me or anything like that. So for people that don't know, I have a speaker and I've got the first book on Audible. And so what I will be doing starting on Wednesday, I'm not going to start the second book, even though I do want to start the second book right away. I'm not going to start the second book until I have gone back through the book on Audible. And the reason for that is that the book has so much stuff that I most likely don't remember reading, even though I have read the book. So the audiobook will allow me to revisit the book and to kind of pick up on things that are probably going to be important for me to understand in the second book going forward. So for people that are under a rock, Dungeon Crawling Carl is a story of a guy called Carl, and he's kind of hanging out at home in his apartment and everything. And what happens is he goes to smoke because, his girlfriend's not there, and there was one of her rules, you can't smoke in the apartment. And what ends up happening is Donut gets away. That's her name's like Princess Donut something, something, something. And so he has to go and he has to try to get her back inside, and suddenly, like, there's this alien invasion, and all the buildings, including the people, go flat. And they're there to harvest Earth's resources. This also probably does include their ozone layer. I don't know. And so Carl, because he was outside, and so was Donut, they are not smushed. So they have an opportunity. They have two choices. Either they can stay on the planet, or they can participate in a game, and if they get down to the final level, they can save their planet. So book one covers levels 1 and 2, because at the end of I'll get to the end of that book and end of the book in a little bit, but so it's like a role-playing game, and I'm going to say I'm a big fan of role-playing games. I don't play them as much as I really want to, but I'm a big fan of role-playing games, like Skyrim. Oh, I love Skyrim so much. So even though at first I was very kind of leery about starting a new series, because I'm on a book buying ban, or like a low buy thing, I was really like, okay, you keep on telling me this book is really super great. And finally I gave in and decided to read it. And as I said, I got done with the book tonight. It is still Monday. If anyone wants to know, it's still Monday. I will be uploading this video like much later, like probably close to like 11 o'clock. So there you go. So anyways, so his goal and Donut's goal is to battle these small enemies, and it gets ready to go up to the boss that is in the way. That's, you got to defeat the boss in order to get to the second level. Everyone knows that. And so they have to work together. And Donut, I forgot what chapter it was, admits that she's scared. She's absolutely terrified of dying, which is, any organism would be terrified of that. And it kind of puts them on the same level of like, yes, Donut is trying to survive and everything. And the first boss is not the ultimate boss. It's not the boss that's like keeping you get to level 2. But we encounter a creature known as the Hoarder, and she speaks in Spanish. And I did not know what the heck she was saying, but when I watched the Crawler podcast, a guy on there who is fluent in Spanish actually said that what the woman said. And I was like, oh my god, she was crying out for help. And so, apparently, according to this character known as Mordecai, this is what they do. They teleport people into the dungeon before their place is flattened, and they become these creatures whose goal is to try to kill these crawlers. So, as we progress on in it, we do encounter the final boss, and all these crawlers who have made it to the final to that particular level are all battling this this ball of swine, which I thought was hilarious. But the description of like what they are is kind of like, oh wow, that I was not expecting. So just like with RPG games, they tell you like the item, like you have an inventory bag, and it's unlimited. You can put unlimited stuff in your inventory bag, and it's just the same thing as like with regular RPG, where you do have like unlimited space, as far as I know of. So basically, you basically have these characters trying to survive this surreal world, and when they get done with level 1, they actually become a guest on this Odette show, which has this woman that has like these weird features, and later on she admits that she used to be human or humanoid, and she kind of altered her appearance to make her more popular with her fans. She also knows Mordecai. So as we are progressing in it, especially when we get to the Odette show and everything, once you leave Odette show, the dungeon crunches, sealing off level 1, and then you're going to level 2, where we encounter a lot more characters, and this is why I'm doing the like audiobook, because there's just so many characters and so much stuff happens, and I most likely missed like 80% of what was in the book. And I'm going to say this, I have never in my life done where I like, okay, I read the ebook, and then I just move on to whatever the next book is. There's only like one time I have actually gotten the audiobook version of the ebook, and that was A Cozy Mystery. But this one's a lot different. There's just so much stuff that he puts into this book that I most likely forgot. So, getting back to the ebook, so we also find out that there's a woman called Agatha who is homeless. And because she was homeless, she wasn't crushed because she did not live in a building. And then she sets a fire, and apparently all these elderly people come out, and that's when their living situation got crushed. And of course, so we have an ice agent, we got a juicer guy, we got all sorts of different things. These definitely represent a lot of society's ills. And I just like, it was really fascinating as reading this book. And, I have the second book on Kindle Unlimited. It's interesting how he set this world up. And he wrote this book during the pandemic. So it's interesting that he occupied his time with something that was creative and everything. And I really liked the book because it really shows that like regular people can find themselves in these, fantastical worlds that are totally make-believe, but in a sense they're not. They become very real. And you have this corporation who is in charge of this, and how corrupt they are. And we also encountered this prince who essentially is very, very bad. I kind of think that he's like a member of the mob or something, like whatever the version of the mob is. And also, he kind of tells Carl about the price that the crown that Donut puts on her head. She thinks it's this, like, really, really kind of beautiful crown, but there's kind of a price that she may have to pay in the future for this crown, because her being a show cat, she's really attracted to these really shiny things and these really glittery things, not even thinking, because she doesn't have the brain the size of a walnut, that there is a price you pay for this item. So there is kind of like this realization that, even though Donut is in all of the covers. Now I'm not talking about the Ace publishing. It's Ace is like a arm of, like, I believe it was Penguin Press. Even though she's in, like, all of the self-pub titles, which I read the self-pub one. I kind of feel like, what is Carl going to do if the price the tiara asks for has to be paid? And it's kind of, I feel bad for him, because even though he kind of doesn't want to think that Donut may die because she put on this item that essentially the price is her life, I think that he might think that later on, especially as we get closer. But so far, Donut has not had to pay the price yet for the tiara. So yeah, it's really interesting. I really am enjoying this book a lot. I like this book is so good that I am going to listen to it on Audible, and every week, like, I'm not doing this like every day, but like once a week I'm going to do like a review of like chapters 1 through 5, and then like 5 through 11, then 11 through 15, until we get to chapter 47. So once I'm done with chapter 47 on the audiobook, I will go ahead and start the second book. So it's going to be, now what I may just end up doing is now if I'm really, really super into the audiobook version of it, which I probably will, I will probably just go ahead and as soon as I'm done with the chapter, I'm going to upload the video, but then I'm going to continue to listen to it, because it isn't that I'm trying to hurry up to get to the second book, but I just kind of feel like that I'm just not going to be able to stop listening to the audiobook version of this book, because the digital version was really, really good, and I really enjoyed it. So now tomorrow I have an Amazon package coming in. It is the physical copy of Dungeon Crawling Carl, and I actually bought this book, the physical edition of the book, because eBay has sent me my money for the Barbie doll that I sold. So I had some money, and I decided to go ahead and get the first book. So it's like I'm only going to buy the book after I'm done, after I have finished reading the book as a digital edition and everything. So the second book, I probably will not buy the second book until next month, which is great. It was like, I think it's like, it was $12.99, but I'm no longer a Prime member. They kind of wanted me to rejoin Prime for $1.99. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So I spent like $21 because I had to pay shipping and handling, which you only have to pay tax, but because I am no longer a Prime member, I had to pay shipping and handling, which I'm fine with. But I had enough from the eBay payment to pay for it, so it's really great. I'm having a lot of fun with the book. I'm actually shocked because I went to Target. I don't know if I mentioned this previous video, but I went to Target. Well, actually, I did Yeah, I did go mention I went to Target, but I went to the book aisle, and I was really trying to locate the book, and they didn't have it. They didn't have any of the books, any of the books. And I kind of made a comment. I said, "Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that you don't have like the hottest book series that anyone has ever read." And she was like, "Oh, what book is that?" I said, "Well, Dungeon Crawling Carl." And she had no clue what I was talking about. Even the librarians had no clue what I was talking about. And I kind of told him, I said, "Yeah, it's in your system, but there's like 60 holds and like a 40-week wait for this book because this book is like so popular." I got a feeling when they adapt it into either a TV show or whatever, um, that you're suddenly going to have an influx of like they're going to re-release the book, but with like whatever kind of cover, like a stickers. So I kind of want to get the books before the sticker arrives because either either they will make it part of the design of the cover, which means you can't take it off, or they will make a little sticker and put it on there, and then when you try to remove it, it rips the cover off, which is freaking stupid. But yeah, so I gave it 5 stars. Yes, on Goodreads because that's what happens. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it 5 stars on Storygraph. But yeah, I am definitely going to reread it. And like I said, I've never done this before on any kind of book except for Harry Potter. And yeah, I definitely want to listen to the audiobook version of it. This guy, I forgot his name. He does the voices. I am really super excited about it. So yeah. Alright, so I will end it here, and I will actually do the book thing. It's supposed to arrive between like 11 and 3, which is great for me because I will be up and about. And yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow, and then Wednesday I will start the audiobook version of the first book, and I will probably talk for probably about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I don't know how long it'll be, and then I'm going to start on chapters, go through 5 all the way to 11, and do another one, but I will probably I'll probably upload it and just have it available, so I'll do this like every Wednesday. Like every Wednesday you'll get a new, like my impression of this chapter based on the audiobook and everything. So I'm going to have a lot of fun doing that, and then once I'm done with that, I move on to the second book, which of course will accompany the audiobook version of it. And next month, as I said, next month I will get the second book, because most likely I will actually be done with the second book by like the middle part of next month. Alright, so that's my video, and I will see you guys next time.